Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. It's a review on another knife sent to me by OK Knives, but this one was not sent in the same package, and I wasn't asked to do a review on this, but I feel I can anyway, as long as I'm getting the other ones out of the way. If you want to know why I ended up with this, you can go back and watch the first video I did, the overview on all the knives I received. I believe I talked about this one as well. But this is a clone of a Reate Exo M gravity knife. It's in D2 steel. That's the only marking on it. There's no Reate logo. This is unbranded. But other than that, it's a complete copy or clone. I'll try to keep this video shorter, under 10 minutes for sure. I'll get into what I like about it. I originally thought this was titanium. It's not. The scales are made of aluminum. And that's fine. I have dropped this, and it doesn't have any nicks on it. The anodization is nice. It's not scratching up. The action's nice and smooth. Sometimes. We'll get into that. But right now, it's working just fine. You know. Yeah, I like the little G10 inlays. They feel really smooth, and the corners are rounded off nice. A little bit of texture. That's all you need. I really like the engravings. The little jimping for your thumb there. It's a little bit aggressive. It's not cutting your finger or anything, but it feels great, and it looks really cool, along with the little other milling marks around it. And that being said, all of the milling on this knife is phenomenal. I don't remember there being any flaws with this. Oh yes, there was. There was a little ding right there. Don't know how that could have happened, like maybe they dropped that piece or something. But other than that, and it's on the inside, so not the biggest deal. They did anodize over the top of it though. Yeah, it works great. The lock works great in the closed position. We'll get into that when I talk about the negatives. And the pocket clip is phenomenal. It's got that little, where the G10 comes underneath the pocket clip, and that kind of locks your pocket into that little slot. Works great. Throw that in there. Oh, my jeans are even dirtier than they were earlier today. Nice. And it works great. Pocket clip is phenomenal. Double-sided blade. Bevels are pretty decent. It looks like it's a little bit to the left or right if I flip it. Well, that would be the show side, so it's to the left. Not a big deal. I've seen real knives get that wrong. Sharpening choils at the end are decent. You can see I did sharpen this, and I got a little bit of a smile right there. Not the biggest deal. But we're going to get into the negatives, and there's not a lot. First is the open position. That is loose. And in fact, you can hear it rattling around. It's not very confident, inspiring. It is locked. It's not coming unlocked unless you accidentally hit that. And you can see how easy it is to accidentally engage it, right? I'm just lightly touching it. When it's closed, it's got friction, so it stops right there, and then you continue to press it all the way up. That's not coming undone. You know, it takes a lot more effort when it's in the locked position. When it's open, not the tightest tolerance, and I forget why. Oh, it has to do with this milling cut right there. That's not as tight as it is when it's down in the closed position. Those two sides that connect to it hold it tighter in the closed position than they do in the open position. So take a few thou off of that side when you make the next batch, and it ought to work great. But that leads me into another point. You can't get this model from OK Knives anymore. I'll still link them in the description. They do have an updated model. They have a mini and the full size. This is the full size, of course. And the new ones come with logos. They say Reate on both the blade and the handle. So it's more of a copy than this one. I don't have a preference either way. I don't care. I just like cool knives, and I don't like spending thousands of dollars on them. That is my take on the whole clone situation, and I think that's what I can boil it down to in just a few words. Inside this lock, it does have some engraving, or not engraving, but some laser etching for lock and unlock. Nice little detail. I did loosen and then retighten that pivot collar. Does bottom out, and that is tight as Satan's ass crack. You can't tighten that anymore. In fact, I think I slipped. I didn't round any of the edges on it. But I do believe when I did take this apart and retighten it, I did slip once. That's how tight it is. It might have been on this side. Yeah, that one looks a little more gummed up. But that's good. That it is perfectly loose with no play. There's pretty much no play, and there's no play for it to have in general. That's a real nice tight fit. And it's not wearing off the anodization on the inside. It's a pretty good knife. My opinions on gravity knives, I wouldn't carry this every day. You can hear it's loose in the lock position, and even if that lock was done correctly, if they fix that little gap that it has in the open position, I still don't think the blade is just a little bit flimsy, even if it was locked up tight. Now, if you squeeze it as hard as you can, there's no more rattle, no more play. Feels a lot better, but it's not a very hard use knife. That's not what I would use it for. It's more of just the fun. Hey, look at this. Isn't that cool? I got a gravity knife. And that's exactly why I wanted it. I didn't have one of these, and now I do. And it's pretty fun. It's very noisy. You can hear all the fucking sound effects. It's like I'm playing Star Wars over here in the garage. But it's definitely a cool knife. It looks very pretty. The tolerances are tight. The pocket clip works. The blade is sharp, and it's D2. So it's going to hold an edge pretty well. Watch out for rust, because D2 is not the most corrosive, resistant steel there is. And just like all their other knives, I believe that's 58 to 60 HRC on all the steels they offer. They seem to want to hit that mark, even though most people want their blade steels a little harder than 60 HRC. But here we are, 8 minutes, and I promised I would keep it under 10, so I'm going to wrap up the review. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for this one. Or not this particular one, but the new one that they have to offer. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Forgot to mention one thing about it, and that was the action. You can see it's nice and smooth right now. It's working great, exactly how you'd expect. But the first time you cut something with this, if there's anything left on that blade when you go to drop it back in there, I'm not kidding when I told you I went to test this steel out and I cut one stick. One stick. I cut a stick off of a branch off of a tree. And I went to drop it back in there and it got stuck like right here. And I had to shake it back down, and it wouldn't run right for the rest of the day. I had to go and take it in the sink and wash it out. So it does get gummed up very easily, just one use. So that's another reason I don't think that this would be a good one to carry with you every day. But definitely still a cool knife. Alright, that's all I had to say. Take it easy.